as soon as YouTube recognizes that I'm going, I can start streaming. What's up, everybody? I think that I am live. We're trying something a little bit different today than I've done before. I'm going at 720p for my quality, but I'm going 60 frames a second, so it should be a little smoother. It may be a little bit lower res, but I'd love to stream 1080p. But we'll see if I can make that happen in the future. Right now, 1080p at 60 frames a second isn't working, so I've been going with 30. But tonight, I wanted to change it a little bit. That's kind of much ado about nothing, though. Thank you all for joining me. I am the Drink Pro. I'm looking over here at the chat. We got Ghostface Bourbon. Is this channel all whiskey? No, it is not. I do mostly whiskey, I would say. Tonight, we're doing rye whiskey, so still in the whiskey category, but it's sort of a unique, different kind of thing. But I have done videos with cocktails. I've done videos with different spirits, absinthe, for example. I even did a video on some orange sodas, which was fun. And I've actually got some really cool rye, or rum, not rye. Tonight is a rum. Tonight is a rye. God, I'm getting myself all confused. I've got some really cool rum videos coming in the near future. Mike McAllister, what's going on, my man? I have realized that some of you, let me take off the, well, you know, this is what happens when you experiment with things. Sometimes you break them. I think everything's fine. Anyway, I realized that I may have confused people a little bit who are in my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for being in the Patreon, by the way. We got Billy. What's up, Billy, in the chat? I wanted to do a couple of live streams before my Big Bad E.H. Taylor stream that were focused on my patrons, because the patrons are the reason I can keep doing this. I'll flip back, patreon.com/thedrinkpro. That is how I'm able to keep making these videos, how I keep able to stream and edit the videos myself and pay for editing software and things like that. So I really appreciate every one of you very much. But to help celebrate those people, I wanted to do a couple of live streams that were focused on things that my patrons have sent me. And tonight is a really cool setup that was put together by Mike Halliday. Big shout out to Mike Halliday. TMBR Jack Attack, what's going on, my man? I'm really excited to try these because I have 9 different rye whiskeys in front of me. We're gonna learn. If you didn't already know that I'm colorblind, you're about to find out, because they're all color coded, which is gonna make this hard for me. But luckily, Mike has put together a really cool click to reveal app, essentially, that I can use on my phone to check if I'm right about things or not. While I'm thinking about that, I better grab some papers, because I'd love to be able to write down, if I can figure out what I'm drinking, you know, if I want to take notes on it, if I want to rank it, if I want to say, oh, this is definitely a Willet Rye or something to that effect, then I want to be able to do that. I don't anticipate really being able to do that, because history has taught me that I'm not very good at figuring out what I'm drinking. So I'm just going to enjoy drinking it. Nothing wrong with that. But if I do figure it out, I would love to have access to... things are pretty cramped over here that you all can't see. By the way, I'm really excited to see people on the stream tonight. I've been kind of off of my main Drink Pro social media and my personal social media, actually, as well. I've used a little bit of my music Instagram channel, which I hope to get more active in the near future. And in fact, I had mentioned wanting to bring music and incorporate it into these live streams. You know, music is a big passion of mine. I really enjoy playing bass. I play guitar. I have right over here, just off camera, I've got this really cool virtual instrument setup with a Machina, which is a device that you can make music with electronically. I hope to incorporate some of those things into future live streams. I think they'd be really cool, and because of the way I'm running all this audio, I should be able to give you guys a really clean sounding audio feed directly through the computer. So it would sound to you the way it sounds to me, which I always like. Deep breath. Anyway, I haven't been very active on my social media spaces. I think I allowed the brand to kind of overtake my personal life, and it really is valuable to sort of have a separation between drinking and other elements of your life. You know, even if you're with drinking buddies, you don't always have to be drinking. And I think that I need to tailor my social media experience a little bit. And I actually think the reason I'm bringing this up at all is because it's something you all should do too. If you haven't already considered it, if you are feeling like social media is not doing what you want it to, those programs are designed for you to tailor them. They try to tailor them themselves, but you can feed into it. If you won't unplug entirely, which I'm unwilling to do, then use the algorithm to your advantage, not your disadvantage. So I intend to really cull a lot of people that are toxic and people that are not really friends from my personal Facebook and Instagram. And I hope to find ways to be more active in my Drink Pro accounts, but then also have the presence in my personal accounts. I want to separate those areas of my life a little bit more for my own mental health, because it's easy to get caught up in the bourbon game, as some of you probably know. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of FOMO that goes on. Sometimes you just got to take a deep breath and take a step back. I'm going to get into this a little bit. I'll give you the rules that Mike Halliday laid out for me. They're not particularly onerous, but they are pretty detailed. Throw things on the floor. Okay. By the way, if anybody wants a Drink Pro Glencairn, I've got these for sale. Just shoot me an email at thedrinkpro@gmail.com. You can send $20 to Venmo at thedrinkpro. That works as well. But, so, I've got 9 different pours with 9 different colors in front of me. I'm going to tell you what I think they are. I think I've got blue, purple, red, yellow, orange, green, brown, pink, and black. I think that's what I've got. Let's see. Actually, it's funny. It helps if I look at it on my monitor right here. I can tell that that's like black. And just sitting up in this lineup, it's kind of hard for me to tell that. What is that? What color is this one? Here, I'll do like a kid show. What color do I have here? Great job! The problem is I can't fucking tell what that is. I think that's brown. Yeah, that's green. That's brown. This is going to go great. This is going to go great, guys. Especially when I get a few pours in me. All right. Okay. Oh, I'm so screwed. Mike Halliday was in the chat. Thank you so much, Mike, for putting this together. Much appreciated, my friend. Let me get myself all situated. I'm just frazzled tonight. It's been a difficult couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, because I have spent a lot of time with Yolanda trying to buy a house. We ended up having to separate. There's like an agreement. Not Yolanda and I. We ended up having to disengage from the purchase agreement with the house we were initially going to buy. There were a lot of problems that were unforeseen and a lot of failures to disclose things and misrepresentations. I don't think they were intentional or malicious, but it just wasn't working well. Plus, we got an appraisal that was way under the value of what we thought the house was going to appraise at, and it just became a mess. So we're back on the market trying to find a house for ourselves. I hope we'll find one that's wonderful and perfect and a great place to make our home for ourselves. But right now, I'm feeling pretty down about the fact that this deal blew up in our face, and it was an expensive and exhausting process already. So going through that again, I'm a little nervous about it. But let's get back to talking about whiskey. I'll stop feeding you my woes. So Mike has sent me... let's see. Mike has sent me a text. And here's the rules. I'll just show you guys an image of it. So this is what he sent me. He wrote out the rules. Oh, you guys can actually read them. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. It's the Drink Pro Catcher in the Rye Challenge. It's a blind tasting of 9 different ryes. They range from the everyday to the sublime. The prices are between $20 a bottle and $3 signs, so big money. The rye content is between barely legal and high rye, ages from 2 to 10 or more years. And my main goal... Oh, now it won't focus. Now it doesn't like me. There it is. My main goal is to place them in order of my preference. I'm welcome, of course, to guess the proof, age, rye content, distillery body label. I'll try all those things, but it's going to fail. This is the important stuff right here. The Easter eggs. This is how I become the catcher in the rye. I have to figure out which one's not Kentucky. I have to figure out which one is finished. I have to figure out which one is a blend of a rye and a non-rye. And I got to figure out which one Mike Halliday doesn't like. Yeah, appreciate it, Trevor and Michael, recognizing the stress of home buying. It is awful and stressful, but trying to keep my eye on the prize, you know? So I'm going to write that down for my own edification. So one is not Kentucky. One is, I'm actually going to make symbols so that I can write, because that'll be easy. So we'll make an N. N is for not Kentucky. One of them is not, only one is finished. So F is for finished. That's pretty easy. And then one of them is a blend. So B for blend. Now some of these, I don't know, and I'm not going to ask Mike in the chat. One of these might be multiple things. So we might have Indiana blend. The Easter eggs, I don't know. But I'm trying to become the catch in the rye. I don't have high hopes in myself. But you got to fake it till you make it. Pretend that you're confident in yourself. That's my motto. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to move this a little bit. There we go. That's better. I try not to look over at the monitor, but like if I'm going to do it, I want it to be a little bit less obvious like that. Nate says, if I had a chance to buy or trade the Michter's Barrel Proof Rye, should I? I can't remember if I've had it. Oh, I didn't care for the Michter's Barrel Proof Rye, to be honest with you. You should go back and watch the video that I did on it, Nate. I feel like I stand by everything I said in that video. And it's still floating around out there. It's from December of last year. So go check that video out after the stream. Honestly, I think I was pretty on point with my review at that point. I think I stand by everything I said. Okay, so N is not Kentucky. F is the finished rye. B is the blend of a rye and a non-rye. And then I'm going to say H. Which one did Halliday hate? Hated it. Okay. Now, there's a lot of other information that he mentioned that I could guess on the ryes. Proof, age, rye content, distillery, bottle, label, my own values. I think I will at least... Oh, my eyes are hurting me already. It's going to be a good night. I think I will at least try to give my ranking and value assigning. Just because I think everything else is like just proving that I don't know what I'm talking about. And the brand is the Drink Pro. So, like, I might guess one or two here and there, but I'm going to try to save face at least a little bit. Okay. Now, he also has this really cool... I hesitate to call it an app. It's a Google Doc of some kind, but it behaves a lot like an app because he's using great macros. But I got the key here, and so there's different colors, and I can press that little reveal button, and it will jump down and tell me what it is without showing me all of them. Very cool. Again, appreciate it. Mike Halliday put some work into this. Very cool. So I'm going to put these in the order that he's got them on this list. So the first one is yellow. Second one is blue. The third one is orange. Uh-oh. Is that red? Oh, boy. Here we go. All right. Orange. Fourth one's red. Fifth one is brown. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is that brown? Does that look brown to you guys? Somebody tell me that's brown. I think it's brown. I'm going to assume it's brown. Ghostface Bourbon. If you win, what's the prize? Ask Mike Halliday. He'll tell you the prize. I'll tell you guys what. If I guess... Well, I mean, there is no winning. Let's be clear. Like, I mean, I guess if I guess all four of those things, the not Kentucky finished blend and hated it, I will give away... What am I giving away? I'll give something away. I'll give something good away. Thanks, TBNR Jack Attack. Yeah, I guess I'll give away, if I get all 4 of those right, I'll give away a really sweet sample pack to somebody in the stream. And we'll do it this way. So if you want a chance, how do I do this? Wait a minute now. Let me think about this for a second. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I got a plan. So if I just fuck it all up, which is sort of what I expect, I will still send a sample pack to one of the viewers. All you got to do is shoot $1 per entry to me, Venmo at the Drink Pro. You'll see it right down here in the corner of your screen. Venmo at the Drink Pro, $1 per entry. You send me $1, or you get 1 entry. You send me $5. You get 5 entries, and then at the end of the night, if I can guess all 4 of those, this is giving you guys investment. If I can guess all 4 of those, then it's gonna be a fucking awesome sample pack. It's gonna be a good sample pack with like solid pours in it, just normally. But if I get all 4 of those, I'm putting in the rarest stuff I have in my collection. The rarest. So, you're invested too. How about that? I guess that's shameless pandering. I don't even think I care anymore. You know what? Like, it's gonna be fun. It costs you $1. Who gives a shit, right? Go for it. Okay, let's start pouring these up. People just keep saying give them the answers. I got the answers. I can click the answers right there. I can click reveal. But I got integrity or something. I don't know. Just foolishness, maybe. All right, yellow. Let's just get into this. Oh, before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and say because I've got 9 ryes here and they're varying in everything. I wanted a baseline, so this is my baseline. I'll return to this to kind of cleanse my palate along with the significant amount of water sitting out in these tables. This is going to be. I think this is just this is just a Larceny store pick, just easy drinking. I think it's the Crown Royal, Crown Liquors Larry pick, but it's a good baseline. Nothing too crazy. A little oaky, a little sweet. 92 proof. It's a really good cleanse the palate, especially because I expect to get a little bit rye blind by the end of this. And that can definitely happen. If you've not done a whiskey tasting before with like more than 2 or 3 pours, you start getting into 5, 6, 7 pours and you might lose those distinctions and those nuances. You've got to have a way to reset your palate to 0. I've talked about some of the techniques in other videos and in other live streams, but I will definitely offer some more techniques here today. And Trevor in the chat says, cleanse your palate with peach tea. Yeah, that's... fucking Trevor, man. We did a whiskey tasting and the dude brought a fucking bucket of peach tea. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and pour out this yellow here. And who knows what it is? Who knows? Trying to make sure. I got really off on a tangent today. As some of you guys know, I often do that. But that line right there is 1 ounce. And I know it's 1 ounce because I looked up what the weight in grams of 1 ounce of 100 proof alcohol water mix is. So bourbon, vodka, whatever, 100 proof. The weight of it, put it on a little scale that I have, and then poured that into this. That is 1 fluid ounce of whiskey, or anything that is 100 proof. So I'm going to use that as sort of a comparison point to try to give myself like 1 ounce pours, because when you're tasting 9 whiskeys, more than 1 ounce pours, you're going to be regretting it deeply. Okay, so that's the yellow. I'm going to go ahead and pour out like the first 5, right? So we have yellow, we've got blue, we've got orange, we've got red. Hope y'all are keeping track at home. And finally, for the first section of this, not really finally, we've got brown. Okay. There we go. Billy and Mike are getting smoking some meat together. It's a good plan. I do love smoked meats. So let's get into this with yellow. I've been blathering on for too long. Let's start drinking some whiskey here. Some rye whiskey. Ooh. Boy, I really like the way this smells. Oh, man. Holy crap. This is... I don't know what this is, but I really like the smell of it. I mean, it's very, like, it's slightly buttery. Definitely cinnamon and sugar. Cocktail smoker. I got you, Mike. I should do something with that. I'd love to make, like, a smoked old-fashioned or something. That'd be a fun video. Oh, this thing... I mean, this could be Elijah Craig, and it could be like an Old Forester rye. I kind of feel like it's an Old Forester rye of some kind. Just because it's got that very classic Brown-Forman note. Like, to me, Ghostface says he places his money on Seagrass being in there. Oh, man. I bought a bottle of Seagrass. I have not opened it yet. I kept meaning to open it and kept not doing it. I've heard nothing but good things. If Seagrass is the finished bourbon, though, or finished rye in here, I bet I can find it because it's going to be unique. I think it's got like a pear finish or it's some kind of brandy, I think. But like that'll stand out. I need to oil my beard. It's all crunchy. Yuck. Okay. Let's get back to this. This yellow. This yellow smells divine. It smells divine. I'm going to put this away for now, but Venmo at the Drink Pro, $1 per entry. You get a chance to get a cool sample pack, and if I guess all four of those right, it'll be a freaking amazing sample pack. But for now, you guys know what it is. I'm going to put that away. Pear. Yeah, I think it's pear. That's Seagrass. I mean, this is lovely. God, watch, I'm going to get this thing so freaking wrong. I mean, I think it's just got this beautiful... Like, ryes, for me, rarely have that sort of sweetened, almost... It's almost like dessert bread. Brown sugar, butter, slightly cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg. Maybe a pie crust quality even, too. Like a... Ooh. Like a pecan pie or a pecan pie, depending on where you're from. It's got that pecan pie vibe. Let's taste it. That's pretty good, man. Definitely rye forward. The grain is prominent. It could be a low rye. Mike says, I think I ought to get 5 free entries. I mean... You're not wrong. I may, Mike, how about this? If you enter, I may have to give you a little bit more weight. How about that? I'll give you double weight. Mike's entries are worth 2. Mike Halliday put this whole thing together. Pretty freaking awesome. Mike, every entry you enter is worth 2 entries. Cheers. That's only fair. That's only fair. Yeah, very oaky. Very oaky. It's interesting because it's got that bitter oak astringency, but it's also very sweet, and it's sweet at the same time that it's bitter. That's really unique. I'm just gonna make some notes so I can keep track of this. So yeah, I just am really stuck on Brown-Forman, but it's very oaky and very sweet on the palate. Billy said, only rye I've tried is Bullet, but I'm new. Nothing wrong with being new, man. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff floating around out there, and rye is having a bit of a moment right now, so it's a good time to go try ryes. J.W. Kelly makes a really good rye. I'll show you it later. I don't have it with me. Okay, Nate Cooper says the Elijah Craig rye we had in a blind a few weeks ago was a really surprising good pour. I agree, and that's another good example. That pour really opened up. So when I first tried the Elijah Craig rye, I did not care for it. I was not very impressed. I made a video explaining as much. It's just okay. But it has opened up beautifully. So I will have to do a flavor drift video, I think, on the Elijah Craig rye because it has changed so much that I may consider buying it again, honestly. Which I was not going to do on that first video. Let's see. Ghostface says Stellum Stellum Rye is garbage. Throwing that out there. Never had Stellum Rye, but I don't think I'll be trying it. The rye is MGP. Yeah, MGP rye are typically not my favorite. Now watch tonight. I'll pick my favorite as an MGP rye, but in my experience thus far, MGP rye doesn't usually do what I want it to do. Yeah, for $30, the EC rye is good. I agree, Ghostface. Okay. So I don't think this is definitely Kentucky. I'd be shocked if this wasn't Kentucky. You know what I'm going to do? Just for my ease of use here, I'm going to give myself the ability to kind of cancel things out. So there's no way this is not from Kentucky. I mean, as sweet as that remains, it very well could be finished. Although I don't think it is. It could also be blended. I would be shocked if this was the one Mike hates. There's no way Mike hated this. I mean, it may not have been his favorite, but there's no way Mike hated this. It just got too much good going for it. If you don't like... I like that. Mike Halliday, spoiler alert, deliberately avoided MGP. Thank you. I'm really happy to hear that because I didn't want to be drinking more MGP than I have to when it comes to the rye. They make some good stuff, and that's the thing. I shit on MGP kind of a lot, but MGP to me is like a blank canvas in a lot of ways. And what I mean by that is, MGP sells, if you don't know, MGP is an Lawrenceburg, Indiana distillery, humongous distillery. And a lot of the whiskey that they make, they don't sell themselves, but they sell to other people to then sell. They're a producer, but a lot of non-distilling producers or small distilleries will buy MGP to get themselves off the ground. And I really like a lot of the stuff people do with MGP. So Smoke Wagon is a good example. That's MGP that's then extra aged in the desert of Nevada. And it brings on some cool characteristics. But just regular-ass MGP, especially because so much of their stuff is young, isn't usually my thing. I will say notable exception was the most recent Repeal Reserve Batch 4. I did not buy myself enough of that. I bought a bottle for an event that I did with one of the one of the lawyers associations in Washington State. And after going through it in that event, I was like, holy shit, why didn't I buy 5 bottles of this? So I learned my lesson, but most of the stuff that's MGP that people are buying and then selling as their own, they're not doing anything to it, and that's disappointing. Or they'll do something to it that makes it bad, and that's worse than disappointing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into blue. Whoa, this is very different. This is like shiny metallic. This is definitely younger. I'm going to go ahead and put older on the yellow. Blue. Nate's entered. Nate's got an opportunity for some cool samples. Anyway. This has real Buffalo Trace vibes. Buffalo Trace gives me this like sweet, fruity note that I really like very often, and I'm definitely getting that right now. Trev says, I'm going to crack that 8-year MGP toasted barrel rye tonight. Hope it's good. Yeah, let me know, Trev. I'll be curious to see your thoughts. The fact they did this toasted barrel thing may add some cool flavors to it. I mean, this smells like candy. It's like rock. It's like like green apple rock candy. It could be the EHT rye, but I don't remember the EHT rye smelling this sweet. And so the video I just did on the EHT rye, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. After the stream, I just released it this past week. But E.H. Taylor rye is unique because it's the only rye that's coming out of Buffalo Trace that has 0% corn. It is rye and malted barley. And so it looks more like the 95.5 rye coming out of NGP, which is nothing wrong with that, and it's a perfectly acceptable rye, but I think what I like about a lot of the Buffalo Trace products is how they get the sweetness out of the corn and get this really almost like candy sweetness that I really seek out. Also, we'll see how this goes. I might have to sit down. My foot's starting to hurt a little bit. I usually like doing these standing because I can kind of wander around the space. But I have a torn ligament in my toe, and it hurts. So I may sit down. And when I do, then this table moves, but that made an awful sound, so maybe I will try to keep standing. So I'm getting like orange blossom, and then like that fake strawberry, like strawberry runts, nerds. So much candy. And then like there's definitely the alcohol burn and almost that like sharp metallic quality. Overall though, I like the nose. Let's taste this. Alright, it's relatively dry. It's very rye grain forward. I think this is a high rye. Watch, I'm wrong, but I don't think this is BT. Because BT for me is a lot sweeter. Yeah, that's got to be a high rye mash bill. Tons of rye grain, very citrusy. I get like almost a hops flavor. Pretty decent finish. It's a solid rye. It's complex. It's firmly in the rye grain category. If you don't like the flavor of a rye grain, then this is not for you. I got something in my eye. If you don't like the flavor of a rye grain, this one is not for you. It's very high up on the nose. Like A and B, or yellow and blue, couldn't be more different here. Blue is high citrus, bright orange, a little bit like lemon pledge vibes too. I mean, it does have some sweetness to it. I guess I wouldn't be that surprised if it was Buffalo Trace, but I don't think it is. Like, my memory of the Buffalo Trace high rye mash bill was better than that. I don't know if that's from Kentucky or not. That's not finished. That's not a blend. I don't know if Mike hated that or not. I can see why somebody would hate this. If you don't love the flavor of rye grains, you're not going to like this. Get a little bit of water. Got to stay hydrated, folks. We got some new people tuned in, so I'm going to take this moment to say that if you want a chance to win a really cool sample pack, I'm going to send out a fun sample pack. Whether I do good or not tonight, just send $1 per entry, Venmo at The Drink Pro. $1 is one entry. That's all you got to do. If you want to send more, you're more than welcome to. But if I get these 4 categories right, if I guess which one's not Kentucky, I guess which one's finished, I guess which one's a blend, and I guess which one Mike Halliday hated, then I am sending out a huge hitter sample pack to one of the people who sends me $1, and it's going to be the best whiskeys I've got in my collection. Period. That's a hell of a sample pack. Feeling generous. I'm going to take this down, though, because I don't love the ticker going all the time. I made it too big, really. But I wanted blind-ass people like myself to be able to see it, because I don't know if you can tell, but, like, I can't see shit. Like, you can see how blind I am, right? Like, that's a problem. There we go. Focused. So, Venmo at The Drink Pro. Get you entered. $1. One entry. Looking at the camera right now, I can see that it didn't actually show you how bad my vision is, but like, maybe this will help. Like, can you see how much of my face gets cut off? You know, these glasses actually did a great job. So these glasses are the high index frame or lenses, which are supposed to make that effect a little bit less. And like, if I had the normal ones, like the gap between this part of my face visually and this part of my face would be like that. Be huge. Kentucky Owl Rye. Just picked up one last weekend. Haven't tried it yet. Trevor, I've been looking for a Kentucky Owl Rye. Which one did you pick up, brother? Let me know which one you picked up because I want to do a video side-by-siding 2 different Kentucky Owl Ryes. I've got one from when the Carters were there, the Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 1. And if you've got another one, hell yeah, man. I'd love to make that video. Hit me up, brother. Trevor's coming through eventually. And when he does, I may have to steal a bunch of whiskey from him. All right. Now, which one do I... Oh, man, the nose on this is so good, though. I really like the nose on, too, but the palette is not as good. 0 to 100 scale. For those of you who are new here... That was almost a sentence. For those of you new here, this is the scale I prefer to use for my whiskey. I think this is a really, really well-written 0 to 100 scale. I love the phraseology. I'm very word-focused, so I love that. It's from the Whiskey Tasting Notebook, from the Whiskey Jug. Shameless plug for them. He's got the Batch 3 2020 release. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, give me a sample, Nate. Everybody give me samples. Okay. So, the Batch 2... The nose is so freaking good. Citrus and rock candy. The taste. It's okay. I'm going to give it like a 80. 82. Has merit, worth trying. Number 1, though. It's just like banana bread. That could be 1792. Do they have a rye? I think they have a rye. It's got super like banana bread vibes. And I like it way better. That's like an 88. I'd legit like that. I would buy that and drink that regularly. Okay. Which is not something I can say about a lot of ryes, honestly. You know, I was talking about the rye resurgence. I got mixed feelings about rye. Some I like, some I don't. So, you know, you do what you can. Mike McAllister, I got you entered in the drawing. Trevor Kunkel, I got you entered in the drawing. People are trying to win these samples, guys. It's going to be a fun one. I'm going to make it worth your while, I promise. And the shipping is free. I'm going to lose money on this deal, even if I'm just paying for shipping. And I'm okay with it. Because I care about you guys. I want you to drink whiskey with me. I know I'm shamelessly plugging this shit, but it is not really a money-making adventure. It's really just like, I love sharing this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. I want you guys to get in on it. If I was trying to make money, I'd have a sponsor. I'd be attaching myself to these bigger channels. I'd be attaching myself to the distilleries. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. I've just drawn a line in the sand for some reason. That I sometimes really regret doing because I'm like, man, I'm going to spend all this money and not make any money. It's like, yeah, that was the point. The point was to have a fun time. The point was not to make money. People forget that. The point of this stuff is to have fun. Just remember that. If you're here to make money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Anyway, get off my soapbox. We're starting early with the soapboxes, guys. People who watch these regularly know I get on my soapbox from time to time, but we're only 2 pours in and I'm already getting on a soapbox, so it's going to be a long night. Better strap in. Okay. This is sort of like a... You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's because the label is orange, but this smells like oranges. For real, for real. Now, I go back to 2, and it's a lot more like acai. But number 3 here, which is orange, definitely getting like orange blossoms. Oh, a lot of sweetness. Let me make my notes here. Oh, man. I think the noses on the ryes generally I like better than the flavors on the ryes. The nose on this is beautiful. All right. I should be giving you notes. I love the smell so much. I'm just sitting there living in it. Yeah, tons of orange. It's like orange juice. And then I get a little bit of spearmint and a little bit of just a hint of anise. Just a hint. It's more like black. It's so sweet. It's not like anise, like a sausage with anise seed. It's more like a black licorice, but it's very soft and sweet. I get like Thanksgiving vibes, which I can't really explain. It just smells like Thanksgiving to me, which is not normally something I get from a glass of whiskey. Wow, that's a spicy boy. Whoa. Wow. Black pepper. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Not just black pepper. Like chilies. Like maybe like cayenne peppers? Or Thai chili? Something hot. That is... Whew. That is crazy. This gives me such pepper vibes now. Like, it smells sweet like a lot of the spicier peppers do. And it's got that fruity tinge to it. It's got a little bit more oak on the nose than a fucking pepper. But maybe like a charred pepper or something. I don't know. The pepper metaphor is falling apart, so we'll forget about it. It's not Dickel orange, Nate. Couldn't agree more, Trev. Okay, second taste, the sweetness really starts to show up. Ooh, much more rounded mouthfeel. Man, this thing's crazy. I'm going to put Pepper Bomb first sip. I'm just trying to figure out what these things are. Second sip is much sweeter. Orange nose. I get a slight funk on the nose, actually. And then, ooh, the funk is getting stronger. It's bringing the funk. Boom. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting there. So it's slightly sweet. Yeah, it's slightly sweet. The mid palate is nutty. Not like a peanut or anything. Like a sunflower. Like unsalted sunflowers. Yeah, so it's a little bit sweet, a little bit nutty. And the finish, definitely spicy pepper and then oak. I can't imagine that's any of those. I don't think that's a blend. I think that's got to be from Kentucky. I mean, maybe that's Tennessee. I guess that could be Tennessee. I don't think Mike hated that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Mike's palate that well. I know some of what Halliday likes and some not what he doesn't like, but I can't imagine Halliday hated that. If he hated that, then we should talk, because I like it. Oh, let me give that a number. One more sip of it. That's good. That's 84. Good. Good. Ghostface, the banana bread one could be Old Forester Rye. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. It felt like low proof. Like it could have been like the 86, but I think they're Rise 100 proof. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Barton product, to be honest. Man. Okay. Let me see what's going on. Just got a message. Somebody's trying to get a hold of me. They can keep it to themselves. Okay. All right, let's go into... I was thinking about that, Trevor. The 1792 High Rye could be the banana. That was what I was leaning to, only because it was so banana-y on that second taste. Initially, I was thinking all over what Ghostface says. I was like, this is Old Forester Rye all day. But, man, it just hit different after a minute. This is red. Make a note now. Whoa! Oh, no way! What is this? Oh, my gosh. Guys, I have never smelled anything like this. I've never smelled anything like this. Holy crap. What is happening in this? Okay. There's a cookie, a German cookie, that I learned how to make. I believe they're called Springerles. This smells exactly like those cookies. Wow. This is the most anise I've ever smelled in any pour ever. This thing smells like anise extract or anise oil. It is crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of a Springerle because some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I gotta find a Springerle. Okay, they call it a biscuit. Whatever, fuck you. It's not a biscuit, it's a cookie. This here, that there is a Springerle. Come on, focus, phone. That's a Springerle. They're an authentic German cookie. I learned how to make them from my grandma who recently passed, and she had a mold to make those pretty shapes. She had a mold that was handed down to her from, I think, her grandma or her great-grandma who lived in Germany. So the mold was a family heirloom. It's somewhere still in the house. I think I still have it. It's a family heirloom, German-made from the 1800s Springerle press. This thing holds so many memories for me. Holy crap. Smelling it in a glass of fucking rye is breaking my brain right now. Nate said that's the one Mike doesn't like. I don't know which one he was referring to. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Okay, so... Oh. Well, that... We've got a bit of an issue. So, in aggressively swirling red, I think that I accidentally got some of it to splash into brown. So we'll figure out how to deal with that in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and taste this thing. I'm just going to, right next to red, Springerles. Because that's literally exactly what it smells like. That's crazy. All right, let's taste it. Man, it tastes like them too. That's so fucking anise forward. What did you send me, Mike? What are you sending me, Mike? Oh, this Nate's right. Mike might have hated this one. This is so weird. I have never had anything like that. That could easily be from not Kentucky. That could easily be finished. I'm going to say that's not a blend because I think the blend is going to be more subtle. What's up? All right. And Yolanda is trying to sneak. You can see her right there. Sneak into the bathroom. That's right next to me. Very subtle. Mike might have hated this one. This is super freaking weird. I'm just going to wait on that because I need to revisit it. It is just, it's too much. It's something crazy. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I think that the brown has been contaminated. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the brown in my alternate glass here. Just a wee nip. I don't want to pour out all of it because it might be something rare and special. But well, I mean, smelling them. Smelling this glass next to the one that was originally maybe splashed in, they smell basically the same. It's got an interesting funk to it for sure. To me, on this particular pour, the funk is almost like sweaty feet. There's Yolanda. Hi.
You smell like smell.
You want to smell that?
No.
Okay.
Bye.
There she goes. I mean, I know that the footnote is gonna throw people off. They're like, that's gross, but it's very subtle. It's not like it's a strong footnote. It's just all these are ryes, and so you got to find what distinguishes them. And this has like a cheese kind of funk. You know, people talk about some expensive rare cheeses smelling like feet. It's kind of that same vibe here. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if people can hear this or not. I'm going to go ahead and switch back. Oh, okay. Ah, look how big my head is. Holy shit. We're going to do it live. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, gosh. This is like a nightmare. This is like a nightmare. Go ahead and help me make this not a nightmare in the future by sending me $1 to @TheDrinkPro on Venmo. Because when you do, you'll be entered into a drawing for either a pretty cool set of pours that are ryes, or if I get 4 unique one-off pours right from my sampling tonight, you'll get some of the best whiskey in my collection. @TheDrinkPro. Okay, I think we've reset sufficiently. I don't know what was going on. Mike Halliday says I blinked out for a minute, now I'm back. I have switched off of the 720/60. I don't know why, but this camera just cannot deal with 60 frames a second. Go figure. I'm going to be nice and juddery now. C'est la vie. I'm higher quality, higher, more pixels. You can see all my pores. And by the way, these are not acne scars. I got a bunch of poison ivy all over my body. So all of my body is covered with various little poison ivy dots, and they're not fun. Okay. Let's cleanse my palate with this Larceny. Oh, yeah. That's very corn forward. I don't think there's any rye in that. I think it's just corn and wheat. So it's a very, anti-rye. Okay, back to number 5. Now, I'm glad I did that because the brown, number 5, now I'm getting a lot more it still has a funk to it, but it's a lot more like gentle, bready rye. It still has a funk that I don't love. All right, let's taste it. I don't like that. I mean, it's not bad. It just has a weird funk to it that I can't quite place. that I don't really like. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume that Mike and I have similar palates. I'm going to say Mike hates that one. Because it's got a real weirdness to it. Although he might hate the Springerly one. But that one's got like a acrid mid palate. Yeah. First initial thing, I get like vomit. Acrid vomit. Very quickly moves to sort of like a sweet oak. And then the finish is where the rye grain really shows up. The rye grain shows up at the finish with the oakiness, pepper, and then rye spice and barrel spice. The finish is great, but I'm just going to say acrid vomit to start. And 0 stars. Yeah. I keep tasting and hoping that won't show up. But it keeps showing up. Oh. That's actually bad. I'm going to say it's 70. An education in bad whiskey. Yeah, I got to clear my palate after that. That's gross. Ugh. Okay. Well, the good news, get a little bit more of this corn and wheat. That's 5 down. I got 4 to go. And then we're going to see where I'm at. All right. I'm going to see if Mike put names on these. I feel like he probably did. Oh. Okay. So, the last one I did was brown. Then we got purple, pink, green, and black. All right, let's do it. Purple is first. Purple. Everything is purple. Everything is purple. And I already forgot the order. Was it pink next? Fuck. I don't know. Yes. Pink is next. I can't wait to get a hot tub. I want a hot tub so bad. Then we got green. There's just something about the end of the day. You sit down in hot bubbly water and you just soak. Finally, oh, that's wet. I don't want that on my nice wood table. Finally, we're going with black. Back in the day, when I would occasionally smoke a cigarette, I would buy the black American Spirits because I was a huge hipster. Okay. Didn't smoke very many. That was a pretty one-off occurrence. But it was nice to have a pack if I was going out drinking. Because a lot of people smoked where I was drinking. All right, let's go to purple. Ooh, now I like that a lot. Now we're getting it. Okay, now we're getting it. This is candy and berries. Okay. Now, number 2 I thought was like rock candy sweet. But as it sat open, it's becoming a lot more floral. And this thing smells straight up like corn syrup. This is corn syrup. I mean, it is just... I get like blueberry, the blue, what do they call them? Like the electric blue, the blue raspberry, whatever they call them, the Jolly Ranchers, the blue Jolly Ranchers. I get that on the nose. Oh, I just can't stop sniffing it. I know I should be giving notes or something, but I just want to sit here and sniff this all night. I get like the blackberry bushes from my grandma's garden. And clover honey. Okay, now I'm starting to get some complexity. See, that happens a lot with a lot of different pours. And I think it's worth telling people. Like, you know, it looks like I'm just sitting here kind of doing the same thing over and over, not doing much of anything. But actually, by revisiting over and over and over and over again, you end up sort of desensitizing yourself to like the main note or the predominant note, and you can start to pick apart the other things that are in the pour. And after sitting here and just smelling and smelling and smelling and smelling, now I've fully saturated myself on that like candy blueberry note, blackberry note. And now I can start to get a little bit of like cinnamon. Yeah, this is purple, Mike. You're right. I may have said black. This is purple. Black is the last one. I am doing them in order. But yeah, I'm getting some cinnamon. I'm getting some brown sugar. Actually, kind of a lot of brown sugar. Dark brown sugar for those of you for whom that matters. Yeah. Oh, this is a fucking hitter right here, boys. All right, let's taste it. I need a minute. For this one. Wow. This is seriously the best one I've tried all night. This just hits all the right notes for me. Blueberry candy, blackberry, brown sugar, cinnamon. Oh, I mean, just gorgeous. And now, going back to the nose, I smell tomato plants. Not tomatoes. Tomato plants. Like smelling the leaf of a tomato plant. Oh, it's so buttery. Oh. It's buttery. It's sweet. It's got a slight oak. What I don't taste at all is rye spice. That makes me really suspect that this is the blend. Because. I would expect to get more rye spice out of a rye unless you blended a very strong predominant bourbon in. And yeah, it might still technically qualify as a rye, but the predominant flavors overtook that rye vibe. Man, that's good. Ugh. That's getting... Throwing parts of my pen around, that's fine. I doubt this is a handy. There it is. Finally, third pour. So I gotta try things multiple times. The third or fourth taste, the rye grain finally started to show up, but it's still very subtle. Mid palate. Oh, and it's got a blueberry finish. Oh man, this is getting like a stupid high score, guys, for real. I'm gonna give this a 95, which is in the middle of the category labeled among the best I've had. If this is actually a rye, this is up there, guys. This is a hitter. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. I need a break. And if you want some of my hitters, send me $1. Venmo at the Drink Pro. $1 one entry. You can win some cool shit. I've only had 3 people enter, so your odds are really good. Like, really good. So shoot me $1. Venmo at the Drink Pro. If you don't have Venmo, let me know. Hit me up in the chat, and I'll send something else that you guys can send me money at. But yeah, man, like, you might get some real fucking hitters. Maybe finished. It could be. God, if this is that seagrass, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it if this is that seagrass. Mike, I am so loving this. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I'm having a freaking blast right now. This is so much fun. This is why I want to do this. Like, the best part about being able to drink with you guys is, like, this back and forth. I love this. So I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Mike. I am enjoying myself, too. Oh, my God. Okay. That could be. Nate, you might be onto something. You might be onto something. If that's seagrass, I'm going to be so happy that I bought one, like, for real. I bought one strictly on the recommendations from others, just because I've heard so many people say good things about it. So, like, if that's what this is, I am so happy I bought one. Ugh. Ugh. If you can't tell, I thought it was really fucking good. All right. Joe, you and your Dan Venmo. Somebody type my my PayPal in the chat for Joe. Poor Joe. Oh wait, Trevor just sent some money for Joe. Joe's gonna owe you hella cash. This has happened before. Venmo I like Venmo. I mean, Cash App is easier in terms of, like, less restriction, but I also feel like it's sketchier. Maybe that's just my, like, impression of the app. I don't know. Okay, pink. It's hard to walk away. I'll tell you what, though. Like, look how much of that is left. If you look at all the rest of these pours, there is more left. For sure. So the purple, stand out. Stand out. Cash App and PayPal. Oh, man. Joe, yeah. Alright, Trev's got you. How many entries you want, Joe? Tell Trev how many entries you want, and Trev will take care of you. Because it's $1 an entry. You can enter as many times as you want. Okay, anyway. Pink. Okay. This is younger. This one is younger. I'm telling you. By the way, just so people know, what happened? I think I breathed the alcohol into my lungs. I didn't think I knew that was possible. I'm sorry for coughing. I don't like coughing on camera. Ugh. Okay. What I was trying to say before my body decided to reject breathing was that I am going to go through all of these individually, and only takes one. That's right, Joe. I'm going to go through all these individually while I'm doing reveals, talk about them, try to give some kind of specific, and then reveal the pour one at a time. Right now, I'm going general notes because I really want to rank them, favorite to least favorite, and I'm hoping to figure out which one's not from Kentucky, which one's finished, which one the Mr. Halliday hates, and which one is a blend of rye and, I assume, bourbon, but it was not disclosed. But it's a blend. It's not just one bottle of rye. Still rye predominant, though. This is pink. All right, here we go, pink. Oh, I should probably give you notes. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing here. Sometimes I'm just like, look at the chat. No one said anything. All right, I'll look up at the screen and keep drinking. No. Let me give you notes. Let me talk. Yeah, it's definitely younger. It's got that metallic note. I wouldn't be at all surprised if pink was craft. One of the things that really stands out for me personally with craft whiskeys over the big boys is this interesting sort of metallic note. Now, it's not exclusively craft. And, this might be one that I'm going to put the N on for not Kentucky because this is something I've gotten from a lot of Irish whiskey. So somebody like Method and Madness, who's making Irish whiskey but likes to experiment, could have done a rye whiskey in Ireland. I don't know. But something about the process, I think, in Ireland brings out this metallic note. And I get that from a lot of small distilleries too, but why for the small distilleries is less clear to me. I think part of it is because they're typically releasing younger products, and that could be a function of youth. But I don't really like it. And it's hard to describe. The best way I can describe it is like sweet citrus metallic. It's like lemon pledge on metal stainless steel appliance. And it just smells like that with like grain thrown on top. Like somebody has wet rye grain and they threw it on my perfectly clean stainless steel refrigerator that I just cleaned with lemon pledge. And I'm mad at them for it. Stop it. I just cleaned that. Now you threw some wet rye grain on top. Thanks a lot. I'm getting cinnamon sticks, which is distinct from ground cinnamon. It's a little bit more earthy and more subtle. Mike Halliday can't figure out Venmo sent to PayPal. As long as I can find it, Mike, we'll be fine. I got Ron's in. I got Ron. Let me just check. I want to make sure that I've got from Mike. If I got the one from Mike, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put my PayPal information. Oh. So I didn't know this. I probably should have. But PayPal is now letting you use like ats, just like Venmo does, I guess, because they're trying to keep up with the times. And yeah, my Venmo or my PayPal information is the same as my Venmo. So at The Drink Pro. If you don't, Venmo is at The Drink Pro right there. But that's also the PayPal information. So if you don't have Venmo, at the end of this, I will check PayPal and Venmo to make sure I got everybody involved. And I'll run through all the names as well. But yeah, I don't think I realized that. Learn something every day. Which is stupid because I already knew that because I fucking set it up. Go figure. All right, pink. Now, getting away from it and coming back to it, I'm starting to get more fruit. The lemon from the lemon pledge is becoming much more prominent. Again, like I said, these notes evolve. The flavors evolve. The scents evolve. Scents, like you have common sense. Sense, like money. And sense, like things that you can pick up. Like I sense your presence. Why do they all sound the same? I hate homophones. I don't know. Just random rant. But yeah, this is getting more herbal. And the lemon's really sticking around. Whew, and the pepper is starting to come to play. Whew. Wowzers. All right, here we go. Okay. It's a young rye. It's very grain forward. I would bet anything that's craft. I'm just going to put that. That's got to be craft. Now I have to write my stupid note of lemon pledge on a fridge. Anyway, that's got to be craft. And, it's pretty good for craft. Usually the craft whiskeys are not my favorite, but I really feel like this is somebody who figured out how to make a decent rye that's pretty young. It's quite metallic. But sweet up front. Lots of sugar. Then immediately gets bready. Like brown bread, like rye bread. But not overly yeasty. And and then it moves into like whole grain rye bread, like from a bakery, and then very quickly it moves into that oakiness, that richness, and then black pepper sprinkled on top. This is very like meal-esque. Like it feels like I had a dinner of this pour. That's pretty good. I'm kind of impressed with that one. Not as impressed as the purple. The purple was just broke my brain, but the pink is assuming it's craft, assuming I'm right about that. It's pretty impressive. A little bit drier than I typically like. Slightly bitter. Then the oak is really nice. The bitterness, I think, is coming from the grain. The grain's really predominant. I think it's also giving me the drying effect, because the oak is not like, I don't get a lot of barrel spice. I get a little bit. And the oak flavor isn't a drying, astringent oak. It's a wet, sweet oak. It's all right, let me give it one more taste, and then I'll try to give it a ranking here. Yeah, bready, oaky. Okay, I feel comfortable with what that is. I'm gonna give that an 86. The high end of might purchase, not a must. Low end of satisfying daily drinker. I'm pretty happy with that. Brian Toner says, I like the Dad's Hat Cast Strength Rye. I actually have not had the Cast Strength Dad's Hat. I've had something from Dad's Hat. I don't recall what it was because it was pretty deep into a big tasting event. But I know that Dad's Hat is sort of recognized. I think they're Pennsylvania right. Is that Pennsylvania Rye? Is that right, Brian? They've got some recognition because of that. A lot of the rye whiskeys sort of originated out of the East Coast because that's what they were growing out there. They were growing rye grain, and much like in Indiana and Kentucky, a lot of this tradition of making whiskey stems from people growing a lot of grain because that's what they could grow, and then going, how do I deal with all this grain? I've got all this grain, but it's too much for my family to eat, and it's too much for me to sell. Because the local market's very small. I have to make it into something that I can transport without it going bad, and that I can sell to people that aren't just in my community. They started distilling it, and you could sell it to all kinds of people, all over the country, in fact. There was a big trade taking this stuff down to New Orleans. Anyway. Brian confirmed, yes, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Brian. Hey, by the way, Brian, Venmo at the Drink Pro, $1 gets you one entry. I'm going to give away some pours at the end of this, and if I guess a couple of these right, I'm going to give away some real hitters. I've got, I'll tell you one, the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. If I get 4 of these things right, if I can guess which one's not Kentucky, which one is a finished rye, which one is a blend of rye and something else, and which one Mike Halliday, who put this tasting together, hated. If I can guess all 4 of those, I'm giving away a serious killer sample pack that will include the family, the Van Winkle Family Estate Rye, or whatever the fuck they call it. Family Estate is Willet. God, this is too many whiskeys to drink in an hour and a half's time. I'm taking this down. Venmo at the Drink Pro, PayPal at the Drink Pro. I don't like leaving it up. It bothers me. Moving parts in front of the screen just distract me. My ADHD kicks in and I'm like, oh, look, shiny objects, and I can't focus. Mike Halliday, great question. What's everybody drinking? Nate's got the single barrel proof rye. By the way, that reminds me, none of these have been that hot. Like, if I had to guess the proof of everything I've tried, I wouldn't put anything above 110. There's got to be something in there higher than that. So Halliday's doing tricky things, I think. Okay. Got 2 left. 2 left. I've got the color blindness. Is that green? Is that brown? What the fuck am I drinking? I think that's green. I'm gonna call that green. Green. Let's give it a smell. Ooh, you know what? That's an interesting one because I get a little bit of that metallic note. I get a little bit of the grain. I get a little bit of a couple of indicia of a young rye, but I really like oh, what? Wait a minute. There was like an iodine quality. That just hit. Holy crap. This is definitely this is a candidate for the blend. This is already a candidate for the blend. There's something weird happening in this one. And because of that item, I'm also going to say this is a candidate for not Kentucky. This is unique. All right, let me give you some notes. I don't want to shortchange you. You, the viewer. I'm going to do a ASMR video at some point. It might be a Patreon exclusive, but I don't think it will be just because I want people to randomly stumble upon it. If you don't watch ASMR, it helps me sleep. That's what I'm doing. Hakeem the Dream coming in hot. Oh, man. Now, this is the green. Yes. I'm going to go ahead, because Hakeem just showed up, and I bet he wants to know what I'm doing. I am trying 9 different ryes, all provided by Mike Halliday. He's created a great little game for me here, where I get to rank them all, figure out what I'm tasting. They're all blind. But if I can find those 4 things, if I can find the one that's not from Kentucky, the one that's a finished pour, the one that's a blend of rye and something else, and the one that Mike Halliday hated, then I am the catcher of the ryes. And if I can do that, I'm going to give away some serious pours. Venmo at the Drink Pro. If you send me $1 or more, you're going to get 1 or more entries. $1 per entry. You can do Venmo at the Drink Pro. You can do PayPal at the Drink Pro. And at the very least, if I don't get all those, I'm still giving away a pretty solid sample pack. But if I do get those 4 right, I'm giving away a huge sample pack of hitters. So give me money. Give me money, Hakeem. Oh, man. Anyway. I'll show it one more. There it is. There it is. At the Drink Pro. There it goes. Okay. Let's get in on this green one. I'm just trying to milk some money out of Hakeem. Come here, you little fucker. I like to give Hakeem shit because he's local and because he's been very generous. So I've got to give him some shit. Anyway. All right. Cleanse the palate because I can't figure out what's going on with this. I'm going to cleanse the palate. We're going back. Only if you dance for me, baby. Hakeem wants that after dark treatment. Nate says, Kyle, I'm so proud of how far your shameless plugs and begging for money / samples have come. Yeah, I think part of it is just not giving a fuck anymore. The fewer fucks I give, the better all of this goes. The tastings go better, the interactions go better, the streams go better, and I enjoy it more. So when I stopped caring about whether people watch this or not, it's gotten a lot better. I think Hakeem's going to be my first OnlyFans membership. All right, this is just freaking Larceny barrel... No, it's not barrel proof. It's just a Larceny store pick. It's corn and wheat. It's a good palate cleanser for this rye lineup. I tell you what. Without that, I'd be lost in the sauce for sure. Mike Halliday, Google Lost Lantern. It's a blender couple. Interesting. All I gotta do is come up and get him. Hakeem's got me. I know that. I know Hakeem's got me. He's got some fun samples lined up for me. I'll be up soon. I haven't been up on the north side in longer than usual. I may have to grow up. You know what? I know for a fact that Yolanda's going to be busy from 1 to 4 on Saturday. So I may have to run up and go bother Akeem if he's around. Okay. This is why this wasn't standing out to me. It's very traditional rye. And by traditional, I mean it smells like MGP. Now, Mike Halliday said he didn't put any MGP in here. And I trust him. But whoever put this together was doing something a whole hell of a lot like MGP. Mike McAllister, Akeem is waiting for Sex Pro Patreon exclusives. Well, he's not a patron yet, so maybe he'll join if I get some sexiness up there. Maybe that's what I got to do, Mike. By the way, appreciate Mike McAllister. He's going to help us out with next week's stream, so if you're around next Thursday at 8 o'clock, you should tune in for that. Mike McAllister's picking some whiskeys for me to taste. Be a fun time. The XXX Pro. Akeem says it's Father's Day weekend, so I get to do whatever. There you go. There's the perks. Yeah, this is just like a super boring rye, honestly. Like, I hate to say it, but like, after cleansing my palate, I don't get that funk anymore. I don't get that blend anymore. Like, yeah, going back to the pink, just I did that just to sort of like reaffirm like what it was smelling like to me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the green is a lot of lemon pledge notes. It's kind of gentle on the nose. I'm gonna order a snack. I'm gonna order a snack because I'm getting hungry. That's how you know it's really getting in when Kyle goes full mukbang mode. I hate referring to myself in the third person. I'm just immediately apologizing for that. But yeah, this is the time of night, man. We're going in. All right, let's make that happen. And what else am I gonna order? See, random thought. The DoorDash app, and they know how to get you because they have like a $12 set number before you get to their free delivery stuff, and that's just over the price of like a normal like single item for a lot of products. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I could get a baklava. That sounds freaking amazing. I don't really need baklava though. I'm just gonna get 2 sandwiches. Why not, right? This is ridiculous. I'm being ridiculous right now. And I don't even care. I do not care. Alright. Done. Just make sure you get Yolanda something. That's a really good idea, Joe. I guess that second thing I could say is Yolanda's because you bring up a good point. Nate says soapbox and snacks, the epitome of a drink pro stream. You're not wrong. That's typically how these things go. Is I'm eating something by the end and I'm on my soapbox at least in the middle. Mike McAllister, our group is just a corn hub XXX barrel prick I just got today. There you go, man. That's perfect. Corn hub. All right. Yeah, this is pretty like generic. It's sweet. It's rye grain. First one I got in my mustache. That's kind of a record. I almost always have one in my mustache by now. I'm working on it, Trevor. We switched shirt providers and we still haven't really gotten the website up. I blame Yolanda for dragging her feet on that, but we'll make that happen. I get cinnamon. I'm getting more and more heat on the nose. Let's taste it. Now, that's interesting. That's a low proofer. That's a low proofer. Very soft. It is bready, lightly oaky, lightly like lemon pledge. Long finish on that, and it's not an abrasive finish. You know what? It's super generic on the nose, but I really like the palate. This is like a classic rye done well. In fact, I'm going to write that down. This is a classic rye done well. Up front, the first thing you taste is the rye grain and like a honey sweetness. Then it moves into this sort of nice, comfortable, sweet breadiness. Finishes lightly oaky, lightly bready, lightly peppery. That's a good one, man. There's a lot of good things in that. A lot to like about that. There's a lot to like about that. I think that's gonna get like an 89. It's a solid pour. Although wait, I gave the yellow an 88. Let's go back to the first pour and see how it compares. Yeah, I like that slightly better than the first pour. 89 is a good number. That's solid. It's gonna be tricky to guess which one of these is not from Kentucky. All right, last plug. We got 12 people in here. If you don't know, at The Drink Pro, $1 on Venmo, $1 on PayPal gets you one entry. More dollars equals more entries. I'm going to give away a sample pack today at the end of this video. And if I guess right which of these is not from Kentucky, which of these Mike Halliday hates, which of these is a blend of a rye and something else, and which one of these is a finished rye, if I can guess those four things, then the sample pack will be the best bottles in my collection. At least 5 samples of the best bottles in my collection. One of them is going to be the Van Winkle Rye. Big hitter. So $1 gets you one entry. Venmo at The Drink Pro, PayPal at The Drink Pro. Please consider doing it. It helps me out. And it's just fun. It's just a fun thing to do. I'm not really making very much on that because I'm giving away free whiskey and I'm shipping it to you for free. So it's really more about the fun. But I love the engagement, so I keep doing these things. Show it more time. Venmo at The Drink Pro. There it is. Okay. We're moving on to the final pour in the lineup. Black. Anybody remember Coke Black? Coca-Cola Black? It was a blend of coffee and Coca-Cola. I tried to replicate that recently and blend coffee and Coca-Cola. It was gross. I don't know what they did to make Coke Black better than what I made, but they did. They made it a lot better than what I made. All right, let's go ahead and give this a nosing. Okay. Now this thing smells like mellow corn. Wow. That's the corniest rye I've ever smelled. Definitely low rye. Definitely low rye. I'm writing that down. This has got to be low rye. Holy shit. Loads of sugar, that's how it was better. You're not wrong, Nate. I'm not going to sing it because I don't want a copyright strike. When I had sang before on these videos, I've gotten copyright strikes. But the song New York, New York, the Frank Sinatra version, has been spinning in my head for a long time now, for no apparent reason. And the part that always gets me started is, start spreading the news. That is just right there. Start spreading the news. New York, New York. Okay. I said this at the beginning, but I'll say it again now. I am definitely going to start incorporating music into these streams because I've got a really cool music production setup just right here off camera that I could easily just plop right in front of me. And I think it'd be a fun way to do these videos, you know, to like I can talk and then like play with some beats. And because of the way this is all set up, it could just be fed right into the stream. So you'd hear what I'm hearing. I could get the volume balanced really well. Be a fun time. And it wouldn't take that much effort. I could still converse. I could still make beats. Maybe a little bit less conversational, but that'd just be a fun thing, right? Or I could just like grab my bass guitar over here and like get on here and start slapping some bass around. Yeah, or I can come over to this other side of the room and I can grab my Stratocaster, which I've had since I was 5 years old, and start playing fun shit on that. Who knows? Oh no! I think the guitar is okay. I hope all the lights are okay. A lot of people prefer, I just noticed this, the Mash Bill, what's going on? We got Stanley in the chat. Long time no see, my brother. Glad you're here. I'll tell you now, Stanley, you're joining late, but I wasn't going to say this again, but Venmo at the Drink Pro or PayPal at the Drink Pro, $1 per entry. Tonight I am giving away a pack of samples. And what I've got today is a really cool sample, 9 rye sample set from Mike Halliday, and they're all blind. I don't know what any of them are, but if I can guess which one is not from Kentucky, which one is a finished rye, which one is a blend of rye and something else, and which one Mike hated, if I can guess those 4 things, I'm going to give away 5 of the best pours in my collection. At least 5, maybe more. I don't know yet. But if you want to throw $1 my way, I'd be happy to have it. And it's an opportunity to get some cool stuff. So, you know, it's a shameless plug, but also I know Stanley likes cool whiskey, and I know he enjoys some fun pours. So, glad to have you back, my man. I'm glad you're here. Even if you don't throw any money in the Venmo, I'm still very glad to have you here. Glad to see you, brother. I know you've been going through some shit, so great to have you in the chat. Anyway, enough shameless self-promotion and celebrating Stanley. Yeah, okay. I was nice to you, and now we're getting back into the normal bullshit. I'm going to be mean to you like I am to everybody else. Oh, getting away. Oh, okay. This makes me question everything. Because getting away from the pours and going back into the pours again after some time away, this really smells like a Knob Creek rye. I really think this is a Knob Creek rye, which is not a low rye, but it's got that like really classic. Well, maybe it's not Knob Creek. I mean, maybe this is. Fuck. It's like nutty. It's got like a lot of oak and a lot of nuttiness. It's just good shit happening on this one. So, like I said before, I'm going to go through all 9 of these pours again, once more, in the process of doing the reveals. I'll probably go through them once more before that, just to like figure out which ones I want to say for Not Kentucky Finished, Blend, and Hated It. But, at the very least, I'm going to go through them twice, I guess. Oof. Glad I ordered that food. Shit, I've had this before. It's nutty. It's sweet. It's like honey roasted almonds. Man, I have had this before. I have had this before. That's the kind of shit that bothers me too. Because I know what this is, even if I can't place it. Man, that's good. Okay, let me give you notes. I'm talking too much. So, on the nose, I definitely think it's still low rye. It's still nutty and sweet, but the oak is starting to become more predominant as I've smelled it more and more. The mash bill, let me know how things are going in the chat. I'm not using a lot of my socials right now, so if you want to chat some more, you can email me at thedrinkpro.com. That goes for everybody. If you want to talk to me at all, thedrinkpro.com. You can shoot me, or I should say, thedrinkpro@gmail.com. Thedrinkpro.com still has my merch store, but it's very stripped down and needs some TLC. But thedrinkpro@gmail.com. You can reach out to me. We can chat. I want to know how you're doing, Stanley. So I hope you send me an email because I'd love to hear from you and chat a little bit, brother. Yeah, it's nutty. It's oaky. That's tasty. I like that pour. I'm going to give that an 86. No, that's higher than that. I'm going to give it an... Let me taste yellow again. Yellow I gave an 88. That's 80. That's 87. Just underneath that. All right. So now I got to figure out which one is not from Kentucky, which one's a finished pour, which one's a blend of rye and something else, and which one Halliday hated. I think the most difficult one is going to be which one is a blend. Because I think the rest of them will kind of stand out. And the blend might not. So, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you the last one, the black. I think that's Kentucky. I think that's Kentucky. I think that's finished. I don't think it's finished. I don't think it's a blend. And I can't imagine that Halliday hated that. So that gets no letters. Similarly with the yellow, the first pour I tried. I think that's 1792 or Old Forester, which would mean that that means that it is Kentucky, not a blend, not finished. I also can't imagine that Halliday hated that. That would just really shock me. This blue one was really sweet. Yeah, I don't think that's any of the four. That could be not Kentucky. I don't think Halliday hated that. That could be somewhere else. That tastes kind of like craft to me. It's pretty light. It's pretty airy. Back to orange. This is one I said was the pepper bomb. Excuse me. Yeah, that orange, man. See, that could be Tennessee. There's something about that. There's something about that makes me think Dickel. I'm gonna take. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna strengthen. That's a +1 for that being the not Indiana or the not Kentucky. Because that's it looks like an H. +1. There we go. That really, I really think that might be like a Dickel or something. Yeah, the orange is Tennessee. That's what I'm thinking, Nate. All right, this is 4. Oh, yeah. This is the one that smells like Springerly cookies. I bet this is the one that Halliday hated. I bet this... I'm going to say... I mean, brown I gave low numbers. But I bet that's the one Halliday hated. It's so prominent. If you don't like anise, that one is awful. I don't know how Halliday feels about anise. I'm going to cleanse my palate because that really is just... That actually could be a finished one, too. That's the most, like, out there pour. And so it really could be finished in something. I mean, is there, like, an anise liqueur? Yeah, there's anise liqueurs. Oh, that might be the finished one. All right. What is this? Shit, now we're really in trouble. Oh, this is... Okay. Oh, man. This is my... It's my reset. My Larceny reset bourbon. Okay. Yeah, that might be... that's got... I'll go through these again, but I think that's got to be the finished one. Mike Halliday, if you are still in the chat, I need your help. Do all four of those categories, do they all have to be different, or can one pour be multiple of those? Could one pour be finished and also not Kentucky? Let me know in the chat if you're still around, because I want to get somebody some really fucking good samples. I want to get somebody some hitters. And the only way I can do that is if I can get these four right. So let me know. Put it in the chat. Man, I hate brown. I hate it. I don't have any reason to think that's not Kentucky, but I don't like it. All right, let's go to purple. Purple was... I love this one. Purple's so good. It's so good. Ooh, that could be finished. That could be finished. That could be... That could be finished. I do like a finished... I don't think that's it. One pour can overlap. Okay. One pour can overlap. I don't think that's a finished... Oh. All right, we'll wait on that. It could be finished and a blend. It could just be finished. I don't think it's just a blend. Let's go to pink. Pink is crafty as shit. That could be not Kentucky. I'm not really narrowing shit down very much. Let me go back to the orange. Which I think is less Kentucky. There's the Venmo, the mash bill, Stanley, at The Drink Pro. THEDRINKPRO. Nate's got me. Nate's looking out for a brother. Wow. The finish on that is really long. The pink, the reason the pink got the score it did, I gave it an 86, which is the top end of good. Might purchase, not a must. So it's almost into a satisfying daily drinker. That, yeah, that really hits good. That hits good. Stanley's throwing up cheers in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Stanley's always fun. He's a fun dude. I can tell. Man, that I think the one that's more likely to be not Kentucky is still that orange one. But it's close. It's really close. God, I'm getting drunk doing this. This is foolish. I gotta work tomorrow. Apologies to Chris if he's in the chat. I don't think he is. But I'm gonna be at the office tomorrow, bright and early. And I'll come bother you. Just to show you that I'm not... that I'm a dedicated employee. How about that? That I'm a dedicated employee that gets the job done. You only had 10 ounces of whiskey the night before. Oh, man. Is E.H. Taylor barrel proof worth $300? Tell me in the chat. Somebody just asked me that. I just saw it pop up. So you tell me in the chat. I don't think it is. Just my opinion. Just one man's opinion. All right, this one's empty. So we can get into this one. Big old glass part 2. Gotta stay hydrated, guys. That's the only way I can survive this stuff. Okay, let's go to is that green? Fuck, colors. Yeah, let's go to green. Green's fine. I don't think that's a blend. The blend is going to be the hardest one. Oh, no. Okay. And then finally the black. Okay. The black tastes like a Beam product. If it's a Beam product, then it's... I see you, Stanley. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I agree. There's so many barrel proofs out there at better prices. E.H. Taylor barrel proof, they're fine. I've had a couple. Now, if you get a young one, one of the early ones, I shouldn't say young. If you get one of the early ones, I've heard those are better than the most recent releases. But the prices are even higher. And I will say, I am going to try 2 of them. I've got the 2019 and the 2020 releases of E.H. Taylor barrel proof. So if you want to know how good they are, check out my stream on July 1st. It's a Thursday, like always. I'm going to be trying all of the E.H. Taylor that's up here. There's only a couple that I don't have. If you've got an E.H. Taylor, one of the special releases, like the Seasoned Wood or the Tornado, things like that, Old Fashioned Sour Mash, and you're willing to give me an ounce, hit me up. thedrinkpro@gmail.com, because I want to have as many of these fuckers as I can. All right, I gotta make some decisions here. Now, I think this fucking anise thing is so anisey. That has to be the finished one. It just has to be. And I also think that I also don't think that Halliday likes finished. So I'm going to say that's the one that Halliday hates. So then I've got a Not Kentucky and a blend. Okay, yellow and black I don't think fit either of those. Those are out. Now this is green. I don't think green is either. No, green doesn't fit that category. Green's Kentucky. And it's not a blend, it's too right forward. Now this is pink. I'm running out of pink. Let me get a little more pink. Pink is definitely not a blend. Definitely not a blend. Wow. That's very right forward. Pink's not a blend. It could be Not Kentucky. I'm going to put it in the not Kentucky category. Could be there, but it's definitely not a blend. Purple. I love purple so fucking much. That's so sweet. Purple, I think, could be a blend. It's close to being finished. I mean, I really want to say that's finished, but I cannot imagine getting that much anise off of something that isn't finished. Like, that's got to be finished in, like, some sort of anise liqueur, like an absinthe finish or something. Stanley the Mash Bill asked, does Chattanooga have a finished rye? I don't know if they have a finished rye. That's a good question. If somebody else knows offhand, throw it in the chat. Okay. This is brown. Nope. That's regular as shit. We already know about. We know about red. Orange. I've had that before. I have tasted that before. Fuck. Oh, wait a minute. Yellow is not Brown-Forman. And it's not 1792. It is Jack Daniel's rye. Yellow is the not Kentucky pour. It's if you've ever had a Jack Daniel's single barrel, you know what I'm talking about. That's the not Kentucky pour. The blend is the hardest one. The only one that feels right for me with a blend is the one that I like the best. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say purple is the blend. It's so damn sweet. It's so damn nice. I can't imagine that being a rye. So, I'm going to take a minute here. Go ahead and throw the ticker up again. If you want to enter, this is the last chance, last call at the Drink Pro. It's in the Venmo. It's in the PayPal. $1 is one entry. The more dollars, the more entries. I'm giving away a sample pack. Shipping is included. It's free to you. Free. Now, it's not exactly free. I mean, you're putting $1 in, but no additional payments. Once you win, you win. I will send you a sample pack. If I don't get all four of those right, it's still going to be a solid sample pack, don't get me wrong. But if I get all four of those right, the Kentucky, the one Halliday hates, the blend, and the finished, got to remember what the four are, then I'm going to send you a crazy sample pack, the likes of which you've never received. That's probably true. I feel like that's got to be true. I'm sure it's true, especially for free, or for, lottery entry, or whatever the fuck. Okay, so let's go through the answer key from Mike. Thank you again. Big shout out to Mike Halliday. I appreciate you, my brother. This was so much fun. This was an absolute blast. If anybody else, patron or otherwise, wants to send me a blind sample kit like this and we want to do a live stream with it, I'd be happy to do it. Reach out to me at The Drink Pro on social media, which I'm not using very much right now, so your better results are thedrinkpro@gmail.com. One of my wrenches, throw that in the chat, please. thedrinkpro@gmail.com. Reach out to me, shoot me an email, say, hey, what's your address? Hey, I got these things for you. Let's have some communication. Let's make this thing happen. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dig into this. Now, I'm going to set the final order, make sure nobody gets in under the wire. Let's see, we're right at the 2-hour mark. I've been streaming for 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 39 seconds, so get it in now, last 20 seconds to throw the money in the hat, and then after that, it's over. So, all right, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Uh-oh. So I'm on the wrong Venmo. That's the problem with the way Venmo works. All right. What about the rankings, Mike Halliday says? I will go through the rankings as I name the pours individually. All right. So here's the people I've got. I've got Nate Cooper. I've got Mike McAllister, Ron Hawkins, Trevor Kunkel, Stanley Wagner, William Dengal, and then I've also got Joe Brown via Trevor, and Mike Halliday via PayPal, and my phone decided to freeze. Not great. Let's close everything. Let's try it again. Oh, we got Chris. Chris is in a very weird specific number. I'll have to think about how to treat that. Sorry. Akeem. Akeem the Dream. His name's Chris. I don't think he's going to care. So that's who's in. And we're going to stop it. That's if I didn't name you, you didn't make it. Sorry. Could the anise be from a Rendezvous Rye? It could be. I mean, if that anise is not a finished pour, I'm going to be shocked. I don't think is the Rendezvous finished, Stanley? I don't remember. I didn't think it was. But, you know, my memory is terrible, so I have to write things down. That's the only way I can do this. Okay. So I will show you the fancy pants, thing that we've got put together here by Mr. Mike Halliday. So, it's got to load. My phone's moving slow today. All right, fancy pants thing. Akeem is not Chris. Yes, of course. So this yellow thing, I really think this is the Jack Daniels. You guys ready? Reveal. Oh no, oh no! It's a blend of Early Times and Old Forester. You son of a bitch, Mike. What kind of blend is that? I thought it was Old Forester from the start. I would have never in a million years guessed you blended it with Early Times. Well, right off the bat, way to make me look bad, like, from the start. I will say, I changed at the last minute. You gotta trust your instincts, folks. That's what I did wrong. I didn't trust my instincts. My instincts were that this was an Old Forester Rye. Now, the blend thing, who the fuck would have seen that coming? Early Times? What is going on? Jesus Christ. Here's what I will say, though. If you are broke enough that you need to cut your Old Forester Rye, your Old Forester 100 proof rye, it's not a bad way to cut it, man. That is the best use of Early Times I've ever seen. And that's a controversial opinion. A lot of people like Early Times. I do not. Well, the mash bill says no hitter samples, damn it. I might throw in one. It's just not going to be all hitter samples, but you might get one. You'll get a hitter sample. I'm going to go ahead and say I guarantee you'll get one hitter sample. Mike says he told me about that one many times. Mike, I must have been drunk every time he told me because I didn't know. I didn't know, man. I didn't know. I must have been asleep at the wheel. That's my bad. All right, blue. That really stood up. That's solid. Blue, super sweet. Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, I meant to do it this way. Kentucky Owl Batch 1. Now, I've got a sample of Kentucky Owl Batch 1 that I'm going to sample against a different Kentucky Owl, but, I mean, I liked it okay. I really liked the nose, but the palate? The palate is not my jam. It's fine, but I gave it an 82. So yeah, and Mike asked about the ranking. So the yellow, the mix of Old Forester and fucking early times, that was number 3 out of 9 for me. The Kentucky Owl Batch 1, which is a hard to find batch, and it's rare and it's fucking expensive, that was number 8 out of 9 for me. That tells you something. Okay. All right. So, now to orange. Now, orange, I gave an 84. This was the super orange one. Let's go ahead and reveal. Interesting. A cast strength Knob Creek 2018. Now, hold on now. I gotta get a little bit more out of that. Gotta get a little bit more out of that. Just a nip. Just a wee nip. See, now after I've read that, I can see it, but like there's a confirmation bias problem, but I can see it. But at the time, I mean, I wrote down Pepper Bomb from the first taste. That's definitely Knob Creek. And then I said that it gets much sweeter and it gets like slightly nutty. Like reading through it, it makes sense. The nose is what threw me off. The palate definitely makes sense as Knob Creek, but the nose threw me off. Now that one, if you're keeping track at home, that one was that was 7 out of 9. So it didn't do great. Didn't do great. Number 4, this was the red one. This is the one I said smelled like Springerly cookies. Here we go. I'm gonna taste it one more time, then I'll show you. This thing is crazy. Oh, fucking crazy. Peerless. I called that shit. I said it was aged in absinthe. All right. Now, it doesn't say on this list that Mike hated it. So I'm assuming he put that on the list. So I got that part wrong. But I was right that it was an absinthe finish, and that makes me happy. Because it is predominant. Stanley says, KO Batch 3 is the best, but none of the rye stand up against the bourbons. I've heard that the KO bourbons are notably better. I haven't had a bunch of them, though. I don't know if I've had any of them. That is amazing, though. That's a 2-year rye. That really, that drinks like an older rye. I think the absinthe finish really adds something to it. Okay. The absinthe finish was last place. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I never gave the absinthe finish a number. The absinthe finish shall remain unranked. That's not right. I can't do that. I'm going to give the absinthe finish... the absinthe finish gets an 86. Which it doesn't change any of the numbers I've given so far. Everything I've said so far remains true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Mike says hated absinthe. So I got that right. Okay. So I've gotten... The only thing I didn't get right was the blend thus far. We'll see if I spotted the not Kentucky, but I got the finish right and I got the Mike hated right. I'm happy to see that. Anyone want a bottle? Mike, I will take that bottle. If you don't want that bottle, if you're giving away a free bottle of whiskey, Mike, I will take that bottle because it reminds me of my childhood. Which is a weird thing to say about a bottle of whiskey, but here we are. All right, now this was my 9th out of 9. This was the acrid, brown, fucking vomit flavored one. I'm gonna just finish this because I need to. Not good. Here we go. Reveal. Peerless 2-year rye. Did not like the unaged rye. Did not like the unaged rye. Yeah. Dead last. Dead last. All right. Now this was my favorite by a lot. And this was the one that I thought was a blend because I liked it so much, but it wasn't a blend. Here we go. Purple. The Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. Wow. That shocks me. Okay. So I've thrown the Van Winkle into a recent blind, a very recent blind, and I did not like it that much. I don't know what Mike has been doing to the Van Winkle Rye, but the Van Winkle Rye that I had was not that good. That crushed the competition today. So it wasn't a blend, but that was damn good. Damn good. Wow. Okay. My food's here, so I'm going to grab it, and then we will finish the list. I'll save you some. Bye! Yolanda had lots of questions. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Let's finish this up. Okay. So, the pink one, pink was the 86. So that tied for... That tied for 5th. Let me make sure I got my math right. Yeah, tied for 5th. It tied with the absinthe finish for 5th. And the pink one was High West Rendezvous Rye. Which one? So, Stanley said something could be the Rendezvous Rye. Was it the pink one? I feel like Stanley thought the brown one could be Rendezvous Rye. Or the green one. I don't know. Somebody call that Rendezvous Rye. That was middle of the pack for me. Okay. The green one. Green one was 2nd place. High marks for the green one. High marks for the green one. The green one I put was a sort of a generic rye. It seemed like it was lower proof, but it was classic rye and very well done. So let's do the reveal. Wait a minute. Castle and Key... Oh, wait, what? Hold on. Green one. Try it again. It's hard to do this. Castle and Key Restoration Batch 2. I have never had that, but I really enjoyed it. That's good to know. It's 63% rye, 99 proof. That's only 3.5 years? I mean, I said it was generic rye. I was right. I was sort of right about low proof, 99 proof. But, like, that's a solid rye. All right. Finally, the black. This was 4th place. It was behind that blend of Old Forester in early times, which amazingly got 3rd place. Stanley thought the Rendezvous could be the Anna's finished. So this is going to be 4th place. That means it's behind that Castle and Key Restoration Rye. It's behind the Van Winkle Rye. And it's behind the blend of the amazing, ridiculous blend of early times in Old Forester Rye. Let's find out what it is. This is black. What? I feel like that's not working. It's gonna... Wait a minute. What's happening? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got problems. We got problems. I'm seeing that there was an issue. The purple was the Van Winkle rye, but the pink, which I said was 86, which was tied for 6th place. Make sure that's right. Tied for 5th place. It was tied for 5th place. The pink, which was tied for 5th place, was actually the Thomas H. Handy Sazerac from 2019. I did a video of the 2019 Thomas H. Handy. You should go check it out if you haven't seen it. I didn't care for it then. In this blind of all kinds of things, I also found it middle of the pack. So it's a high-priced bottle, but for the price, it's probably not worth it. I think that's really valuable to see. Which also means that the green was the High West Rendezvous. And I actually put that really high up. It was 92 proof at 6 to 16 years old. I put that really high up. And that means that the black was the Castle and Key Restoration. So the Rendezvous Rye gets a lot of extra brownie points. It was very solid. And the Castle and Key Restoration Rye, 87, it's 4th place. Pretty solid. It performed pretty well. Let's get some food going. So I am going to do the drawing here in a minute, but I'm going to get this food going while it's here. Yeah, I learned something today, for real. Like, I'm very surprised by the results with the Van Winkle Rye. Because I literally just did so I was visiting Nate Cooper recently, and we did a blind with the Van Winkle Rye in it. It was a blind where neither of us knew what we were trying. And neither of us were particularly impressed by the Van Winkle Rye. So I'm very surprised that the Van Winkle Rye did as good as it did in this blind. It absolutely crushed these other ryes. And while I will say I think some of the ryes that we had in our blind, I may have actually preferred to a lot of the ryes here. I think we had some ryes that were really in my bailiwick, and they were in my preferred profile during our sampling. It still doesn't really explain. It doesn't explain how this version of that Van Winkle was so much preferred to what I've had from other Van Winkle products, from the other tasting of the Van Winkle Rye. That really surprised me. It really did. It was kind of shocking. I need ketchup. Be right back. So, ironically, can you get you guys? Yolanda has joined the chat. What's going on, Yolanda? Everybody's saying hi. Joe really likes the Van Winkle Rye. I like it a lot better than I thought I would in this particular instance. Yolanda says peach tea. Nate asked if you can stop the bald man with a beard from talking. Can't stop, won't stop. The Mash Bill says, I had a 2020 Thomas Handy 2-ounce pour for $22 the other day. Also a 2019 Stag pour. The Handy was great, but I think Stag Junior batch 13 or 14 were better than the GTS. So, hot take and controversial take, I think that the 2019 GTS was better than the 2020. The 2020 gives the old school GTS heads exactly what they want. It's super high proof on the palate. It's all oak. It's astringent. It's got cherry. Great for them. But I felt like the complexity of the 2019, even though it was lower proof, the complexity was so much better. It was a better pour. If I got a 2020 GTS tomorrow, I would trade it. Trevor mentioned the 2020 Thomas Handy. He really liked it. I haven't tried the 2020 Handy. I've heard good things, though. I've had the 19 Handy. I was pretty unimpressed. I've had an older Sazerac that I was very impressed with. I haven't had any of the new Sazerac, though, unfortunately. My mouth is full of Greek food. Shout out Petra Cafe. They do it right, man. I'm telling you. It's cheap, it's easy, it's delicious. And when you drink 9 ounces of whiskey between 90 and 120 proof, you need food. I see people in the chat talking about the different batches of Stag Junior. If you haven't watched my video, the video I do reviewing Stag Junior Batch 15, it includes a chart that shows how I ranked every Stag Junior batch side by side. I did a live stream on it, and if you want to watch the live stream, you should definitely check it out. But the Batch 15 review includes all my ranking for the live stream, and also includes my rankings for my individual reviews that I did on Patreon, right there. For the patrons, I did a review of each individual pour 1 through 15 and gave them a number ranking. But you can see the results of that in my Stag Junior Batch 15 video. I love gyros. Oh. Mike McAllister doesn't know what handy he gave me. Mike Halliday, I'm sorry. Mike Halliday doesn't know what handy he gave me. Mike, what's the proof on that handy? You've got the bottle. Check the proof on that bottle. I want to know. That will tell us. Oh, this was so much needed. This was so needed. Well, I guess we can talk about how well whiskey pairs with Greek food. This is a blend of 8 and 9. No, this is a blend of all 8 of the ryes. I said all 8. It doesn't include the anise finish. I killed that. That doesn't make sense. That'll take over a blend. Powerful stuff. Now this here, I ordered my normal, but I also ordered something different. Let's try something different. Uh-oh. That's even better. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to go back and mark my order because I like this better than my normal. I order Petra more than I care to admit. And this is better than what I usually get. So, we're learning tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Mike's got both bottles and he doesn't know which one he gave me. You just have to send me both of them again so I can try them side by side, Mike. Nate's asking if we just did whiskey and Greek food. We did. We can keep doing it. Oh, man. That was a big bite. Stanley was getting some serious gyros. But Stanley was getting gyros from the Greek Isles. He's getting legit gyros. These are good, but they're not legit gyros, I bet. Yeah, Mike's laughing at me because my two favorites were like polar opposites. One was like a blend of two relatively budget pours, and one was the Van Winkle Rye. I love that too, honestly. Like, it really shows you how much price makes a difference. Like, price is not the variable. I don't care what a pour costs. I care how much I like it. Because there are pours I like that are, blends of $25 and $15 whiskeys. And there are pours I like that are $1,300 or $1,500 whiskeys. Takes all kinds, man. Yeah. I've just learned my new order. On the left here, or on your right, it's a classic lamb gyro. But I don't know what's on this side. I legit don't know what it is. I just picked another meal and ordered it. But dude, it's good. It's better than the other side. So let me know in the chat, what surprised you? What weren't you expecting? Because I'll tell you what I wasn't expecting. I'll give you a little inside baseball. I knew that the Van Winkle Rye was going to be in here. I knew that for a fact. But I did not think at all. Nate said his biggest surprise was I like the second gyro more than the first. I knew for a fact the Van Winkle Rye was going to be in this lineup. But I would not have guessed in a million years that it was the one I preferred the most. No way. When Nate and I compared it to others, it was just okay. But that just goes to show you, Pours taste different in different circumstances. And honestly, if I can get on my soapbox for a minute, I think that's why I'm pretty aggressively against the secondary market and the high pricing behind a lot of whiskeys, because there are a lot of pours I really, really like. But what I constantly find is that the way I experience pours is radically different based on the circumstances. What have I eaten before? What have I drank before? Where is it in the lineup of the different ryes or whiskeys that I've drank? Like, it's just, there's so many elements that go into whether or not I enjoy a pour. It's just, I don't know. There's just so much that can vary. It feels to me, honestly, like expensive whiskeys are rarely worth it, because there are only a couple I've ever had that really hold up to multiple different circumstances. I've had a lot of great ones that were great in like different unique situations. but they weren't versatile at all. Nate's asking me questions. Nate asked, did I try the pour after the anise? I'm assuming he means try that one again. That was the Peerless. That's the brown. I'll try it again. This is the Peerless Brown. Stand by it. I stand by my initial thoughts on that. It's young. It's only 2 years old. It's got this weird acrid taste. Don't like it. Don't like it. Do not like. Oh, let me go back in here on some French fries. It'll kill that taste. Nate says, no, I mean, did you try the Van Winkle after the anise? Yes, I did. I went anise, regular Peerless, Van Winkle. This is great content. Look at this. Great content. This year has totally fallen apart. And I don't even care. It's 11 o'clock. What are you sipping on? Because right now, I'm sipping on tzatziki sauce. And chicken. Nate's trying to get intellectual with me in the chat while I'm eating fucking gyros. I'm busy, Nate. Leave me alone. Mike really liked the 2-year Peerless. I mean, I can see what you're talking about, Mike, but there was just something weird and acrid in there for me. There was something that really turned me off to that pour. That I must have been picking up on something that wasn't like... it's not something everybody picks up on. But it just really wasn't treating me right tonight. And that could have been because it followed the Peerless with the absinthe finish. That definitely could have had an effect on it. You never know. You never know with those things. Internet will love this. Hold on. Oh no! Shit! Never mind. Making a huge mess in here. I think Yolanda saw what was happening and was like, I gotta get out of this chat. Stanley asked if I saw the new Four Roses Super Premium release at $200 a bottle. I didn't. And I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because I have tried some of the best Four Roses on the market. Very generous people gave me really cool opportunities to try some of the best Four Roses available. And the best Four Roses available were basically like, oh, I like this. This is really good. That is not a reaction I want from a $200 bottle. I want to be gushing. I want to be just head over heels if I'm drinking a $200 bottle, if I'm eating gyros. If I've got a $200 bottle, that thing better be like freaking amazing. And there are very few Four Roses that have made me feel that way. Very few. There's one. Maybe two. Okay. Although there is a lot of food left, I'm going to try to be a smart Kyle and stop myself. Because there's enough left for a lunch tomorrow. And I don't really need to eat more food. I basically ordered that because... Oh no! I saved it. We're good. We're good. I saved it. I basically ordered that second one because I needed to get free shipping. So, what's the lesson here? What did we learn? I don't know. I don't think we learned anything. I think we learned that I will drunkenly order gyros and eat them for the internet to watch. I think we learned that the Van Winkle rye is a situationally dependent good rye. Even when Nate and I drank it and thought it was just okay, it wasn't like just okay. It did well in a blind of very good ryes. So, it was a good rye. But tonight it overperformed compared to that. I think we learned that I can't really guess. I'm not able to guess like what makes a good rye and what makes an expensive rye. And I also can't guess what's a blend of different ryes. But I can tell you when a rye is finished. And when Mike Halliday will hate it. All right. L'chaim. All my glasses are empty. The last thing I need is more whiskey. So that means it's time for the raffle. I am going to, as I've done before, give everybody a set of numbers if they've done multiples. And we're going to do a random number generator 5 times. So let me go to the numbers I've got here. All right. I've got Akeem is going to be 1 through 5. Mike Halliday. And remember, I told you his number was going to count twice. And that's because he is so generous and has given me so many good pours. Mike McAllister, you did not miss the drawing. It is happening right now. So Mike Halliday gets 6 through 15. Let's go back to my PayPal list here. Okay. Nate has got 16 through 18. Mike McAllister, you've got 19 and 20. Ron Hawkins, you've got 21 through 25. Trevor. Now, Trevor's a tricky one here because Trevor, I think, he ended up buying for Joe and for himself. So I'm going to do the ones for Trevor now, which is 26 through 30. And we'll come back to the ones for Joe. Wags, Stanley Wagner, he is going to get 31 through 40. We got William Dengel. Will is going to get 41. And finally, we're going to get Joe Brown, 42 through 46. So, those are the numbers. I have aggressively scribbled them up there. I think you can see them. Can open a random number generator. I'm going to run it 5 times. The lowest is going to be 1. The max is going to be 46. All right. You can see it. Thank you, Google. It's, there we go. Let me get it right here. It's too white. Okay. There we go. I mean, you can see the number. Why is it being like this? Okay, hold on now. We're going to generate it 5 times, all right? 1, 2, 3. What? Okay, the max changed. Something went horribly wrong. Let me try that again. All right, now we've got the max set at 46. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Payout number 5. 40. 40 is Stanley Wagner. Appreciate you, brother. The mash bill is back, baby. Stanley's got some cool samples coming his way. Stanley, shoot me an email at thedrinkpro@gmail.com. I don't remember if I have your address or not. I'll have to check my information, but Akeem says I win. You do not win. But Stanley's going to get some good stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to get off of here and go to bed. I got to get up early for work. It's been a blast. This has been a great time. Big shout out to Mike Halliday for joining tonight and for providing all these excellent whiskeys and for putting together such a cool, user-friendly system with the text he sent me with those access to the spreadsheets where I can just press a button, show you all. You could all watch in real time while I uncover what is, what is in the next pour that I thought was something different than it was, which is almost always the case. Mike Halliday stepping up to the plate. If you guys want to do something like that, reach out to me, thedrinkpro@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out. It'll be a lot of fun to try to do more things like this. I had a freaking blast. Next Thursday, Mike McAllister is picking some whiskeys from my collection, and Yolanda's pouring them for me. We'll see what they are. It's going to be a fun time. Mike says, just like the Mega Millions, I never win. Well, I will say this, and this is just another shameless plug. This is the second or third time in a row where I've done something like this, and the person who donated the most money won. That doesn't always happen, but I will say I like to see it happen, because if you're willing to put a lot of money into the pot, your odds go up, and I think that's a good thing. So, that's kind of much ado about nothing, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's fun, and I'm so glad everybody joined in. Thank you all so much. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate my patrons on top twice, I guess. I appreciate you guys even more. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Like I said, next Thursday, I'm going to drink some pours that Mike McAllister provided Yolanda a list for. I gave him a list of everything I had open, and he picked some things from it, and then I get to guess what I've got. See, this is one thing. When Mike Halliday sends me a bunch of random whiskeys, and I don't know what the fuck's in them, okay, fine. I can be excused for being confused, but I got no excuses next week. And then 2 weeks from now, all of the E.H. Taylors, the big boys, the hitters. I've got at least 2 or 3 pours over there that are, $1,000+ a bottle. Big ups to everybody who helped me get those pours. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm Kyle, the Drink Pro, and I'm going to go to bed now. Cheers.